Welcome everybody to another episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale. You see the little bang bang? Because we're on video at the
Yeah, we are right now doing a sample recording of if we could do a live stream. So right now we're live streaming to an audience of none just to see what it looks like. We're also joined
just like
by
normal.
We're joined by the illustrious, the wonderful, the one of a kind, Lord Manny Hayes.
Hey, hey.
Hey. I mean, I have no idea if this is going to even work. I don't even know where to look at towards the camera. I don't know what the audio sounds like. So hopefully it's in sync. So after this, after this whole podcast is done, I'm going to go and look at the YouTube, and I probably can send you guys the link because it will be unlisted because I couldn't send the link the way that I wanted to. Why am I so animated with my hands right now?
Because you have to enunciate with your hands now because
and you gotta have a pencil in your hand of some kind and paper, and you gotta act like you're writing stuff down, but you're really not. You just draw pictures of dicks.
I got paper and pencil.
Is that what you do? Is that what you do when you're just not doing anything, drawing pictures of dicks?
I don't want to talk about what I do in my spare time. Okay, I'm just saying when I'm pretending to make notes, a lot of random pictures come up.
You know,
just saying.
Manny, more and more about Marcus comes out on each episode that you appear on. I don't really understand what Marcus does in his free time.
Apparently a lot, or nothing at all. I won't say nothing at all. I would bet nothing at all.
That's the lifestyle that you go with, huh? Nothing at all.
This lifestyle I live. So, Eric, what are you looking at?
Right now, I'm looking at OBS, the broadcasting service, and so what goes on is that I'm looking at the levels, and when you talked, you're spiking to the red. So I tried to slide it a little bit down.
You want me to talk like this?
So you
want me to talk lower?
No, man, you can talk regular.
You want me to do my serious voice? This is my radio voice right here.
Sexy. Oh, this guy thinks he's Keith Lee.
I know. I mean, like he just got parts in his larynx. Like he got parts, Man,
no. This is my larynx. This is me caught out sick. No, this is my impression of me caught out.
So wait, you're gonna tell me you're gonna put your impression of you calling out sick on the internet. So now people who maybe you work with will hear your voice of you calling out sick.
No, well, in my job, we don't have to actually fake sick. You don't have to fake sick. You call out. You just call out, and you be like, "Oh, I'm all right. I'm not coming in." You don't have to say anymore. There's no details. You don't have to be like, "Oh man, like they're not gonna try to convince you to come in."
At this
point, call out.
I mean, at this point, I might want to stop with all this banter for the simple reason that Marcus is already operating at a disability,
like 70%.
For the simple
and then
reason.
you don't want to start the show. You're here, dilly dabbling and dilly gaffing and not really doing much. We start the show, and you're still trying to test the show.
Manny, what type of phone do you have right now? You have
an iPhone 11 Pro X Max.
Yes,
I can't even remember what it is.
You have the same phone that I have, but for whatever reason, I'm Skyping from a computer so I can record everything. And you have the most crisp and pristine video quality of everybody. Marcus has the worst.
Why you gotta make my video seem like it's a piece of shit, man?
Once again, Marcus.
Why you gotta do that, man? Why you gotta tell people that I'm living hard out here? Okay.
And the worst part about for my video is that I have.
You gotta tell people I have a tomato can as my headphones and shit, and just a string on the end. Hopefully it picks up something.
No. But see,
tell people the way I live.
But at least you don't have the stupid blur effect on your camera, like because my camera
has
focus. It's a Skype thing where you click the button. It's like you can do the out of focus. And I don't want the out of focus. I want to be regular. But last time I clicked some stuff, guess what happened? We just got the Skype logo. So I'm like, I'm just going to roll with the punches and go from there.
Wow. You should really rehearse this. I'm sure you're not working all week. You could have rehearsed this multiple times this week. And
no,
been like...
I went to work this week. I was at work.
Wow. What's that like? Let's start the show.
Well, you don't want
to start the show.
You're asking questions.
I was trolling just because I wanted you to eventually say, "Let's start the show," so I don't die of battery. You were just saying that
I actually thought you really cared about my well-being, but apparently you're just saying things just to make me think that you care and you really don't.
I haven't cared about anybody else in my entire life.
Well, speaking of not caring about anything, Monday Night Raw started off with the MVP Lounge.
We're starting with Raw?
Yeah, why not?
You always ask or something. All right.
No, I'm not asking this time.
No. You commenting on that just mixed up an amazing segue into Raw.
So Manny, you understand what I deal with.
You can't always get what you want, all right?
You hear the tragedy that I go with. Sometimes I come up with amazing segues just to start stuff, and then Marcus will question like, well, "Why are you doing this?" And it's like we jump right into it. And then he's like, "So we're just gonna start with Raw?" When he just got finished saying a couple of minutes ago, when we gonna just start talking about the show because my battery's not gonna make it.
Why are you bringing the bullshit?
I'm just saying, you make it a lot more difficult to organize the show. And when it was with Brian here, it was even worse.
All right, start the show. Okay, start the show. I'm going to close my window. And it's going to get hot in here. And I may end up taking off my clothes because it's getting so hot in here. I may need to take my clothes off.
Why are you closing your window? Everybody doesn't know about the kids already. We know the kids.
Nah, that's more than that now.
Manny, did you get your AirPod Pros back?
Yeah, I did. Right here.
Did the Uber driver contact you or something?
Yeah, but I did have to pay him to drive it back to me because I wasn't going to him. But it's a cost worth.
How much did he extort you for?
£20.
Oh, that's how much? That's not that bad, right?
Yeah, it's about 10% of the actual value of the headphones. So it's like,
it's better than having to go buy a whole new set.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of a new set, we started with the MVP Lounge, and instead of having the male Money in the Bank participants, we had the female Money in the Bank participants for the MVP Lounge. First, I was very disappointed.
That whole conversation was to get back into the transition.
No, it wasn't. I just thought of it right there.
You just needed to get back.
What disappointed me about this MVP Lounge taking place in the first place was I was ready for MVP to be in the corner of Brandon Vinc and Shane Thorn. So once he was out there doing the lounge, I was like, I guess that's not going to take place. So I was a little frustrated. It started off with Asuka coming down to the ring. MVP showed that he know Japanese and told her to have a seat in Japanese, I can assume, because he said it, she hollered, she sat down. Shayna
very polite.
Shayna Baszler came down to the ring. She took the seat on the other side of the couch. And then Nia Jax came down to the ring, and she sat in the middle, which looked like a stool.
She set her fat ass on that table.
Yes. I was hoping it would break on contact as well, straight away.
I was like, man, she has no class. He brought all these couches for all this space. Did she feel like the couches weren't enough, or did she not want to share? I don't know what happened right there, but I guess they wouldn't have all three on camera. They could have just put another chair there. I feel like it was awkward her on that table.
I'm assuming the production team forgot it was going to be 3 guests, and so they only put 2 couches out there, and she was like, fuck it, I'm not sitting next to them. Marcus, do you feel that this
there were 6 of them last week.
It was, but...
Yeah, they had 3 of them. Yeah, they had Alex just sitting down, and that other fool and somebody else.
Yeah, but
and Apollo.
You know for the fact though that the men get along a lot better than the women, because remember the week prior we got that 3-way dance match that never took place because Nia Jax decided she wanted to dominate, and Nia Jax dominated the entire conversation. Marius, did you even like this segment?
No, I thought it was a waste of time. I thought we did the MVP Lounge last week. There's no reason to start the show with the MVP Lounge again. I feel like I was starting with a rerun. Even though it was 3 different people than last time, I still feel like I was watching a rerun. And I didn't want to start the show this way. Then they ended up kicking her, and she broke the table then and fell over, and then it looked like she died.
Manny, do you agree?
She cannot survive a table crash, ladder fall if they do this in the match.
Manny, do you agree with Marcus?
Yeah, that whole thing was a waste of time. The only funny or entertaining bit of that was when she fell through that tiny table, which was a drop of maybe 2 feet maximum, and then was on the floor injured for what felt like an eternity.
What I took away from it, I enjoyed one little thing, but then it got messed up really quickly. I enjoyed when Shayna actually spoke. She spoke in Latin, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but I feel like her character should be less words than anything else. Like, say what you said in Latin, no one understands, and just be quiet. But then when she went and clarified what she meant, I was like, well, damn, Shayna, I don't need you to say that, because Nia Jax talked too much, and I was like, I just don't care. And I guess we will be doing a Money in the Bank preview. Who do you guys have winning the women's Money in the Bank? Do we even know
who's going with first? You got to shoot it to somebody, man. You can't say you guys.
Manny, who do you have winning the women's
My neighbors might chime in.
I think Shayna. Yeah, because there's nothing else going on in that Raw women's division at the moment. But I think Shayna. But I also like to think that there would be some kind of teaming up, because if they're happening at the same time as the men's, I'm hoping that you see some team up between two people, and then they end up going up to the top together.
Marcus, are you agreeing with Manny's Shayna pick for Money in the Bank?
I think she's the only logical pick, right? Everybody else seems like out there. Like Nia could get it, but I don't believe they're having her climb that ladder, especially after she was on that little table. Asuka doesn't need to win it. It goes on. Dana Brooke and Carmella or whatever. And I forgot who the other person was.
I think
the last SmackDown person.
The very interesting thing that happened on SmackDown is that when they aired the commercial for Monday Night Raw, and they said that the winner of the Money in the Bank match will confront Becky Lynch on Monday. Now, from my understanding, the winner of the Money in the Bank gets to challenge their champion. So does that mean that the winner will either be Nia, Shayna, or Asuka? And if we go ahead, Manny.
Unless they're planning to have both champions on, I'm not 100% sure what's going to go on with that. Because I would have presumed the exact same thing you were saying, but I'm thinking they might have both champions on that Raw, just in case, just to cover both options.
As Manny had the thinking pen, Marcus, you were interrupted. That's why I went to him first. Marcus, what were you going to say?
Foley was ready for it. I'm just gonna pull out my cigarettes, all right?
well, Marcus,
just start smoking.
When you do,
no, my pipe. I do a pipe.
When you do
and
a live
like,
stream,
oh yes.
When you do a live stream, you have to have some type of gimmick so the people will notice you more, and you can be latched on to it. Now, Manny is.
Oh, I will do the clean my glasses gimmick. Well, sir.
At the end of the day, for me. Oh, did you have something to say, Marcus?
Not really.
Okay.
You were talking about the Raw thing. I don't care.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I can care about who wins the women's Money in the Bank, because it seems I'm not interested in any of those people. Because I can't even remember. I can't remember 5. I'm not interested in any of the people in this match. Is it Lacey Evans? Is Lacey Evans in 6?
Yeah, I think she's in there also.
She ain't winning.
For me, I want Asuka to win because I think Asuka's the only one who can have a solid match with Becky, unless they're going to try to replay it.
There.
But as long as Nia doesn't win, I'm okay. Like, it's the logic is anyone but Nia. That's just how I feel.
Nia makes the most sense though if you think about it. She gave Becky the concussion. She never got her comeuppance from that. But I honestly don't care. Do you think we're gonna get a surprise entrance? The old injury taken out. Oh no, I'm injured, and then we can have some random returning person, or either Bianca, or I don't know if they're still talking to Ronda these days, but Ronda, or anybody that can just come in and take somebody out and just take the briefcase.
Bianca. Go ahead, Manny.
I'm sorry.
Go.
I would love Ronda to be up there waiting for Nia if she was up there, just throwing an armbar and throw off the roof.
For me, the Money in the Bank at the corporate headquarters, it's a match that I needed to be you in with some type of boss battle. Whether it's Ronda up there, you have to conquer me, or even if it's evil Vince McMahon. It's someone needs to be up there that you have to defeat somebody.
If it's Ronda up there, why wouldn't she have went for the briefcase? Is she just there to you finally come to me? She's Red Skull?
Yeah, she's like Red Skull. It's like in the Avengers.
I'm just up here.
A soul for the Infinity Stone. You have to make a choice. I mean, that's how I look at it.
When you say evil Vince McMahon, what iteration of Vince McMahon are you going for?
Like,
because I'm thinking do-rag.
I mean, the do-rag, I'm thinking like anime Vince, like he's just on swole, like almost like the Mystic Dragon from Dragon Ball Z. Like, you know, you put a lot of After Effects into him. Like, you got veins popping everywhere. It's just, I want it so ridiculous that it's so enjoyable. I mean, I want to be wowed. And because, you know, like, I had that conversation with our listener, and it was listener Levi, and he was talking about why he liked AEW, and I thought he made some valid points that WWE doesn't really do anything to wow us anymore. It's like, it's kind of status quo, because like right after the MVP Lounge, we got an unannounced Gatlin match with participants we did not know who would be in this match. On top of that, we didn't know how many people would be competing. So the match starts off with Lashley. Lashley is dominating, and he is dominating everyone. He beats Tozawa. He beats Titus O'Neil. He beats the unannounced Shelton Benjamin. And then next thing you know, Humberto Carrillo comes into the ring. And for, you know what, I'll let Marcus speak on to what happened next, because he was livid about this situation.
I was livid?
You were upset that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what am I livid about? Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's been almost a week. I was absolutely livid. And obviously, I've cooled down since then. But I was upset by a referee overstepping their boundaries. I'm so sick of when someone is dominating the match too much that they throw the match out, that they give the DQ. Lashley did nothing wrong. I've seen people do far less. Just ask Aubrey Edwards. Just ask that black ref, that referee Charlotte. Anybody in the world, this referee went too far. Absolutely too far by DQ Lashley. Lashley was in a role like he's never been, and they tosses everything. They costs everything. Humberto's out there. What he gonna do? He can't win. And then the black man does all the work, and just like just like today in America, the white man gets all the rewards. Wow. Outrageous.
Well, Marcus.
It's outrageous. He killed all the minorities, and guess who stayed on top still? The white man from Georgia.
Marcus. First, I knew you ranted, but I didn't know you had that much of a rant. I mean,
you wanted me to be livid, didn't you? I had to go to that deep and dark place to get livid again, right? I'm livid, okay? I'm raging right now.
And now Marcus is about to call me a sellout.
I can punch a hole in my wall.
Marcus is about to call me a sellout, but Marcus, according to the announcers, Bobby Lashley did place his hands on the referee, which in every other wrestling world, that caused a disqualification.
No, not all the time. There's times when referees get pushed to the side. How about the times when the referee get yanked out the ring? They get yanked out the ring in the middle of their 3 count.
But it's
There's
not by the
DQ ever called in that scenario. You know who that person works for. You can make this up. If Jack Swagger is pulling me out the ring, or Jake Hager now is pulling me out the ring, you clearly know who he was working for. He's a member of a gang known as the Inner Circle. Okay, that's what's just going on here.
But Lana told
for him
Bobby,
to turn a blind eye is outrageous.
But Lana did.
If a white man were to put his head, if AJ Styles were to put his head on that referee, nothing would have happened. There would have been no DQ. They would have continued business. There would have been a warning. They wouldn't just kill the match. Outrageous.
But Lana told Bobby, if I was out there, this wouldn't happen. So this might be Bobby's
she almost got hit. Bobby almost went like that.
He's like, Manny,
not now.
Manny, are you?
Yeah, not now.
Are you as livid as Marcus is about the disqualification of Bobby Lashley?
No, because his main argument was about Aubrey Edwards, who doesn't give a fuck about refereeing. She is basically a substitute teacher, and when your actual teacher is a way off, and then this substitute comes in and has no clue what's going on, and then she has no control of what's going on. That's basically how Aubrey Edwards does refereeing.
I disagree. Well, I kind of agree, but I disagree.
You disagree
That's
and agree.
Because I can, okay? I'm a human being. I have rights. Oh. Aubrey Edwards, that is 100% description. She doesn't give a fuck. I feel like she's a mime in there, just doing hand signals and shit, talking about boop, 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 boop. Like she does all these hand signals. I feel like she's a goddamn mime out there doing nothing. not refereeing the match. Call the damn match.
So once Bobby,
I don't know why I'm yelling about Ari Edwards, but it's outrageous what happened to Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley should have won this match.
So once Bobby got disqualified, it became the torch was passed to the brown people in the match. Carrillo went against Garza, who Carrillo then beat Garza. Then they were followed by Zelina Vega's other team member of Theory. Theory was there. He got beat by Carrillo. Carrillo took a long ass beating to eventually get to Super Boss battle. The man who returned from the grave, AJ Styles. And AJ Styles.
Gauntlet matches aren't fair.
Huh?
I said gauntlet matches aren't fair.
They aren't fair, especially when you don't know who the participants are. And then on top of that, which I think really made me more upset about the entire night, and maybe I missed it, so maybe I won't be as upset, but I didn't get one single update on Apollo Crews. I need to know, how is Apollo knee holding up? What is he doing to rehab his knee?
You didn't miss anything. Nothing came up.
Yeah, he did.
No, there was no like account of like where's Apollo or anything.
It was just like he got hurt, he died, and they're not gonna bring it up. They should have did an update. What
disappointed me about the match, I wish they wouldn't went the route of disqualifying Lashley. I wish they would have let Lashley go through the table, and then he would end up fighting AJ. Then they would have a brief match, and then I'm okay with AJ winning the match. It's just that it's the thing that they're doing with Bobby. I don't know what they're doing with Bobby. It's like they're protecting him, but not protecting him. It's like we're just waiting for him to blow up and beat up Lana.
I feel like that's where they're at with him. They want him to elevate him to the next level from where he was at. He has to leave Lana, and him losing to AJ by either Lana distraction or AJ just beating him will hurt his momentum. Because technically, Bobby does have momentum right now. It's not good momentum, but it's a little bit of momentum. He seems like a serious wrestler again. That he's taking his craft serious right now.
Oh,
he's a killer.
That's always good.
But my whole thing is about this. At one point, Zelina Vega's trio was on top of the world. Andrade, Theory, and Garza. Now they're like in a week and a half, maybe less than that. They've just become jobbers. They've lost to everybody. Like it feel like they were building up to something. Like they were posing in the ring, and we're like, oh, there's something to be worried about. But since that moment, they haven't won a match, or even come close.
I don't know where they're going, because like the one thing that Zelina is really good at, and that is having the mic in her hand. And she didn't really have the mic in her hand this week, and she didn't even have ridiculous boots on this week. So I'm not 100% sure what they're doing with it. It's like the WWE really doesn't know what they're doing with their talent, for the simple reason they don't know which talent is going to be there the week in and week out. Like I read the article about Roman Reigns of why he's not there. I mean, unlike popular belief that he was worried about his health, he's not worried about his health. He's worried about the health of his 2 newborn children. And I mean, at the end of the day, Roman got to do what's best for his family. He's known for protecting his yard, so he's going to protect his yard at home. I miss Roman Reigns. Never thought I would say today, but like SmackDown has no star, and Roman is that star, and you can put him back on Raw, and it would make me feel better, because I thought that we got the Latino Shield with Austin Theory, and clearly that was not the case, because now, like you said, Marcus, they're Tozawaing it up, and that's frustrating in that situation. Do you like AJ making the Money in the Bank match phenomenal? And did you enjoy his promo afterwards, Marcus?
Well, I kind of wish he did, I mean, he did die. And he just came back and was like, I was dead. So what? I'm back to life. Like, he didn't really sell that he died. He just kind of came back and felt like he was just thrown into this match. Because they were like, we need help to build this match. We have no stars, so let's throw AJ in it, I guess.
I think that's what I was looking for. I was looking more for the explanation of how he got out. Because he got buried. He mentioned that. We never specified how he got out, or if this is AJ version 2 or something.
Yeah, like it's a new AJ or something. It was just like, I died.
Like, yeah, I lost the Boneyard match. It's another match, but we move on. It's not like being covered up in dirt and stuff of that nature.
Like when you get buried alive in a buried alive match or a casket match, it's always like, they take a lot of time off and they come back, but even then they still feel like they had like something happened to them. AJ felt like his ice cream just fell off the floor. Yeah, I lost that ice cream cone, but shit happens.
I mean, unfortunately, that is a very good analogy, Marcus. I dropped my ice cream.
Yes, nailed it.
And as they say, shit happens, man. AJ's ice cream cone got melted, and things happen like that.
Mr. Tony Reale, give me my points. Give me my points, Eric. We're doing Skype video. Give me my points. Around the horse now. Give me my points.
I mean, I could hit the ding on the board, but I'm not going to hit the ding on the board. I'm not going to do that.
Give me my points. Give me my points, man. Don't cheat me out my points.
You know what? When you start asking for points, that's when I take points away. Speaking of good
points.
No,
please don't take my points away.
I thought one of the most dominant things, and he instantly became my pick for the winner of the Money in the Bank, was when Aleister Black cut his promo on AJ returning. And, he actually pointed out all of the things that we talked about. AJ didn't point out about going to the dark side, feeling the darkness inside of you and engulf you. How did it feel? And I thought Aleister Black came across really strong in this situation. And I think they're finally giving him that nudge to that next level. Manny, are you in agreement with me, or you think Aleister Black is just status quo?
I think it's a case of them finally understanding his character and like him having input on his character, because it doesn't seem like the writers were writing for him before the quarantine. But coming into it, I feel like everyone backstage kind of has an idea where his character's going and where to go from it. It's early stages. They could obviously take a U-turn and ruin what he's built in the last couple of weeks. But it looks very good from what I can see right now.
Marcus, now I'm going to ask you this question, which would be a more harder question because it's going to jump into another reality.
Son of a bit.
Is it?
I hate when the teachers do that. They ask somebody, "Oh, what is this state? Oh, that's California." That's an easy fucking question. And then you're like, "What is this country here and there?" No, motherfucker, why you give me the hard question?
Well, because Marcus, I can see it in your face that you had already had a statement that you were going to go with Manny, and I want to change the game up, Marcus, because I can see.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say things that you can't read no motherfucking faces. Well, you can't read my face. Hold on, let me clean the glasses one more time.
Marcus, Aleister Black has been probably one of the most recent debuts that have been like a one that changed the game. However, this week on NXT, Karrion Kross.
Oh, we're jumping to NXT?
I'm just jumping for
Is that the question?
I'm jumping for one simple thing, Marcus. Is the push for Aleister too late when it seems like you have a better character with Karrion Kross that's in development right now?
Well, they're different type of demonic souls, I think. I think they're different type of demons. Aleister's one that searches for peace. Karrion Kross is searching for murder. I think they're different. In a little bit. But, it's only been a week. And they're on different shows, so it doesn't matter too much, I don't feel. And Aleister can continue to get his push and whatever he's at. I don't feel like he's winning Money in the Bank, though.
Who do you have winning the male Money in the Bank match?
Well, since it's a joint Money in the Bank match and anybody can grab anything, I'm going with Nia Jax.
Nia Jax gets the men's one.
Yeah, Nia Jax picks up the wrong briefcase. Everybody's like, "What do we do now?" She took the wrong one. She's so confused. Yeah. The Nyla Rose thing. So
I'm waiting for your pick, though, Marcus.
I got a pick now. Man, I'm going with King. I'm going with King Corbin.
Really? He sold you.
That was my pick.
Wait, so you guys are trying to tell me that King Corbin on this SmackDown episode with his promo sold you with him having potential of winning Money in the Bank? Manny, I'm going with you.
When he said King Money in the Bank, I went, shit. That actually has a ring to it. And I don't want him to be champion. I don't want him to win. But I feel like that would be the person you will have win right now.
I feel like it's righting a wrong of him messing up his Money in the Bank opportunity originally.
He lost it on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just lost.
Righting a wrong.
For me, I would prefer to have Baron Corbin as the champion than Braun Strowman. That's just me, because I have always been on Team Baron Corbin. So, but we're not at SmackDown yet. SmackDown will be a little brief segment on my notes that I have right here that you guys can't see.
That was a blurry note.
I know, because I have the blur.
I'm sure it looked like you pulled out a giant dildo or something. They were like, we got to censor that. We can't show that on the YouTube. Jesus. Maybe on his OnlyFans, but not here.
My OnlyFans is not up yet, but it might be there, you know, with some skin. Speaking, so 2 Fly Crew.
Ooh, could you imagine? I wouldn't even change the name if I had an OnlyFans. It'd be the Sharpshooter.
Cedric and Ricochet decided that they were going to fight Brandon Vinc and Shane Thorn. First, they lost. And them losing is one thing, but they lost with MVP not even being at ringside for Vinc and Thorn. Like he debuted these people, and then next thing you know, God forbid, he doesn't even walk to the ring. And now Cedric and Ricochet. Manny, did you care, or did it make it more interesting that they lost?
I think what we're forgetting to look at is that I think Vince is very high on this Brendan Vinc guy. Like, he looks like who's the guy that played Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he's got a Hugh Jackman look to his face. He has this build of a star. That's something that Vince loves, just a big jacked up guy. And he's not even that jacked up, but like, he's definitely something Vince would like. And I think they're trying to go somewhere with it where it's hard to tell, like, but they're definitely going somewhere with it where I think MVP's picked right, and I honestly think Apollo might end up with them.
So Apollo, Vinc, and Thorn. Marcus, do you think Manny is crazy, or do you think he's onto something?
Well, there is the reports that Vince and Heyman are both on to. They want to do something with Vinc. They said there's something there with Vinc. He's Australian. He's big. But I just felt like this is the wrong time to do it with Vinc. I didn't understand the loss right here. If it was a one-on-one thing and he took him out, again, this is not Ricochet's biggest loss. He did lose to Riddick Moss. He lost to Riddick Moss. It's the low point of anybody's wrestling career. Like, I just lost to Riddick Moss overall for the 24/7 championship in a regular match. That is the low point of my career. So I was really disappointed because I thought there was going to be some type of because the way MVP sold it, that Shane Thorn and Brendan Vinc are going to be his guys. They're going to prove to him that they're going to worth the shot. I mean, they won the match. I just don't want this to be one of those, we're going to kind of use somebody as a project and then not do anything with either him or Shane Thorn later.
I just think that Vince is upset that Nathan Jones didn't work out originally. So now he wants Brendan Vinc to work.
I mean,
we're currently in Australia takeover anyway. The Australians are taking over, other than the Iconics who they sent home. But you got Brendan Vinc and Rhea Ripley and Shane Thorn, and I think there's one more Australian out there somewhere. Crocodile Dundee. They're all out of control.
I mean, I agree with Manny in this situation. Although our screens keep jumping all over the place, I have to really figure out how to lock our boxes in its place. But who knows?
Can you make money with Brendan Vinc, Eric?
Marcus,
are you making money with him?
You know, the interesting thing is he has this look about him. It's like a stanky look, like something about him that says, you know what? He might be something because he doesn't look like anything else that's on the roster right now. So
he reminds me of Wade Barrett.
He reminds me of Wade Barrett, and Marcus,
like he'd be an updated Wade Barrett.
And you were a huge fan of Wade Barrett, so
I'm a fan of Bad News Barrett.
I'm afraid I got some bad news for you.
So great.
I mean,
still don't understand what never happened with that. That never happened with that.
I guess I'm not upset about this because I don't know what I can.
I was upset
because you're really invested into Cedric and Ricochet.
I'm not really. I don't even think they have a name.
Two Fly
I just
Crew,
felt like
man.
they had momentum. I felt like I'm not calling them that. I just felt like they were doing something with a tag team. They were forming a tag team, and then this tag team has lost all momentum.
Well, that's the thing, Marcus, because they are two single competitors who decided they're going to try to form a tag team. This is like more reasoning to find them a manager that can help them become cohesive and build them back up. Yeah, but they were a solid
tag team.
Huh?
But what we do, this makeshift team of Brendan Vinc and Shane Thorn, who are just thrown together, have nothing in common, do no moves together, no chemistry at all, and I feel like you just threw away a potential tag team.
But the thing about them, Marcus,
like you could have built Cedric and them to fight the Viking Raiders or the Street Profits.
No, but see, the thing is, you can still build them because, like, the thing is, Vinc and Thorn are an unknown entity. They've never had any singles matches whatsoever, so no one knows what to think of them. I mean,
well, Shane Thorn has.
Well, Marcus,
Shane Thorn is jobbed everywhere.
That's only if you watch all the other products, but for the first time on Raw,
he jobbed on Raw.
Well,
no, he jobbed on NXT last week, didn't he?
He jobs on NXT. He jobs on Raw. He jobbed, I think, on SmackDown before. He's jobbed everywhere. Brendan Fink is the unknown entity because I think he's only jobbed on NXT like once.
Well, Marcus, I'm really confident though. I really think that they're gonna do something to let Alexander and Ricochet hit rock bottom. Then they can go team up with Evil Apollo Crews and rise to the top.
Rock bottom was Riddick Moss.
No,
Rock bottom was Riddick Moss.
That was a singles match, Marcus. That was a singles match.
Internet was in outrage.
That was a loss. Mark, I'm curious what your position on what I felt was the best match of Monday Night Raw. That was the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. I feel that they have very good chemistry with each other, and I actually felt that in this circumstance, the right team won. No title was on the line. It still gets that story across that the Viking Raiders are in the heads of the Street Profits, and it makes whenever the Street Profits defeat the Viking Raiders that much more important. Manny, did you care about the Viking Raiders winning against the Profits?
I think it very alludes to what you said. It was just like it adds more depth to this already growing story, and then it's more. The fun part I had about this was I went through various stages of this match going, Dawkins is trash. He's a liability. Then he proved his worth. He was a liability. The whole beginning of that match, he was on the ground.
Yeah.
Beat up. The liability while Montez got destroyed in the ring. And then he proved his worth. And then I feel like word got to him. The picture I sent you guys of
he'll get knocked out.
Dawkins getting knocked out is just basically when he heard Eric trying to replace him with Denzel.
Dejournette.
But so I'm gonna chime in and say this was the best match on the show. It was entertaining. And I agree that the Viking Raiders should have won, but at the time I thought the titles were on the line. I don't know, we always missed this, and I went, "Oh man, that's the end of the Street Profits. That's their run." It was like 2 weeks of them being champion, but it was a run. I mean, they had it longer, but it just felt like they didn't get a good run. So when I found out it was not a title, I was like, "Oh, okay, I can live with this."
What I felt that was really interesting for me was that the fact that it appeared that maybe somewhere that Dawkins does listen to this podcast, because he went back to the well. He brought out some pretty good big man moves in this match. I thought his pounce on the outside of the ring was solid.
His pounce was solid.
Yeah, I was like,
that was a very good pounce.
I was like, that's a good pounce. But I was like, that's a good big man move. Good job for you. And maybe I don't think he did the spinning forearm smash into the corner.
He did.
Okay.
He did, but it looked more impressive this week than it has in
months. I feel like he did it multiple times.
No, I think he did it once, but it looked more impressive in months.
So I enjoyed this match, and I thought another match was good on Monday Night Raw, but this match just didn't have any context on the show, and that was Charlotte Flair going against Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan, in so many ways, took Charlotte to the limit. And And it just made absolutely no sense for Charlotte to be taking this match against Liv Morgan when she knows she was facing Io on NXT. And it just upset me that this match was taking place.
What you don't understand about Charlotte right now, her goal, Eric.
What?
And her quest, her conquest, is that she's not taking, the story is she's not taking anybody seriously. And that's why she's always caught slipping. And she ended up fighting for her life against Liv Morgan. But the only thing I really took away from the match, one, Liv Morgan is getting better in the ring. And two, Charlotte and the black referee need to always be in the same match. Because him saying, Charlotte, you can't do that. Oh, come on, Charlotte. Like, literally, that's 90% of the match. And him just telling her not to do stuff. And her just going like, shut up, I do what I want. Marcus, disrespect to it.
I actually think that is her referee. I think he has been in the majority of her matches. Because this is not the first time you mentioned, come on, Charlotte, you can't do this.
That guy might be my favorite referee due to his facial expressions and his like you can actually hear him and he'll complain to the wrestlers about stuff. Like I feel like he puts out the best emotion. Right now, he's the best referee in the game, and I'm calling it right now.
Wow. Manny, I'm not going to even have you touch on the referee situation. Liv Morgan, I mean, do we know what her character is?
I think her character still lacks depth because we don't know what it is, but this is the best I've ever seen her. This episode of Raw. It's the best match she's ever had. And that's even including the tag matches where Ruby would have shone. But like this, I definitely think Charlotte made her better that night.
Well, I'm not going to take anything away from Charlotte, but I thought last week too, I thought Ruby did a good job in making Liv look better than what she was in the ring. And right now, I think Liv is a better Alexa Bliss than Alexa Bliss is. And maybe because I find Liv Morgan more attractive than Alexa Bliss. That may just be me. I mean, and I'm also have always been a fan of the Green Arrow and the Black Canary. And when she comes out, the first thing I think about her being the Black Canary. I just wish I knew what her motivation was of why she's doing what she's doing.
And she don't know her motivation.
I know.
She still don't know who she is. And I don't understand where they're going with that. It's like somebody that had amnesia.
Well, Marcus,
I don't know who I am. I don't know how to go to the bathroom. I barely know how to walk. All I know how to do is wrestle.
Marcus,
that's what I do.
The thing is,
I don't even know why my name is Liv Morgan.
Mark, it leads to the greatest comic book thing. And when you always say, I don't know who I'm is, then one day she walks out and she grabs Becky's title and she says, now I know who I am. I'm a champion.
Did we got a Last Dragon? We got a Last Dragon scenario where she needs her face dunked into the water.
Yes.
She pops out and it's like, I am the master. And then you get the Last Dragon theme song and she's kicking showing up through a wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
I still know I enjoy the credit for that movie when it's the first two black people to go Super Saiyan in history in the world. So, showed up and Leroy Green. Or Bruce Leroy.
Monday Night Raw ended with Drew McIntyre versus Buddy Murphy.
Drew McIntyre here.
The only thing that I took away from this match, I thought looking at Seth stand on top of the ramp, looking sinister like a super boss when he's not the champion, was actually quite entertaining for me. As for the match, it was Buddy versus Drew. Why did Buddy decide he wanted to go for the kick that Drew does? I don't know, but he got knocked out, and that's what happens. Why did Drew think that Seth was not going to attack him? I don't know, but Seth tried to attack him. Marcus, did you like the way that it ended for the night?
I guess. This is the only way they could have ended. They said this is the main event. Drew is the main event. I thought the feud was set fine after the contract signing. I actually didn't need more of them. You could have just did a video package talking about this is the heavyweight title match coming up. And, I've been satisfied with that. I didn't really need the match. The match was fine. But I got Drew retaining this title.
I see no reason why Drew wouldn't retain his title in this situation because I don't think Seth is the end game for Drew McIntyre. I don't know who the end game is. Hopefully it's not Brandon Vic. But, Manny, I'm assuming you're taking Drew McIntyre to win this title also. Keep his title.
Yeah, Drew, I think it's only right to keep it with Drew till he can get a fan interaction because I feel like it's slightly unfair that he's just a quarantine champion.
And the quarantine champion. With that being said, who is the best quarantine champion right now?
Drew.
Like, you have your Moxley on AEW, you have Drew, you have Strowman, and,
Gentlemen,
Moose.
I think we can all agree that Strowman is the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. I think when it comes for the top, and I know I'm gonna make Chris angry, it's either Charlotte, come on Charlotte, or it's Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna go with Charlotte because Charlotte's showing up on 2 shows and doing her damn thing. That's just how I look at it.
What about Keith Lee with the North American title? He ain't doing Charlotte work.
I'm having
Martinez last week.
I'm having mixed emotions about Keith Lee. Like, I want him to be good, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
You want him to be a killer.
I do. I think
you don't need pink shoes and sweatpants.
No, I think
you need a killer.
I think evil Keith Lee would be a far superior than good guy Keith Lee, but that's just.
I don't feel like he could be evil. He looks like a generally nice guy.
But
that's the problem.
His evilness is his cockiness, and when you're a good guy, you can't really be that cocky anymore. You have to be somewhat humble, and I don't know. But so with that concludes Monday Night Raw. Now, Marcus, because I did not let you pick which show we started off with, I will allow you, Grand Finale, to decide what's the next show we talk about.
Let's go with the AEW.
How did I know you were going to pick that show, Marcus? Because I will say right now, and I don't know if I've said this many times on the show before, Dynamite was probably the most enjoyable wrestling show this week for me. Just because it started off
shocking,
but it really it ramped up to a night. Like when you start off your show with Cody versus Joey Janela, I wanted nothing to do with this match. The only thing I took away from this match was that Brandi Rhodes did not come out to the ring with Cody, and I was like, this is leading to something else, and it did lead to something else. I was disappointed.
She didn't come out. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even think about that.
She did not come out with Cody, which really pissed me off because it really made the segment that took place in the second hour feel disconnected. However, I could go to Marcus and talk about Joey Janela first because I know how he loves him some Joey Janela. But I'll go to Manny.
I can skip over the... Okay.
It's really nothing to talk about. I mean, Cody won. It was no Brandi.
I feel like Cody took too long to finish Joey Janela in this match.
Yeah, that's my number one problem with AEW. There's some matches that just seem like this should be done. This should not be a 15-minute match and try to tell stories or whatever. This is a squash match, Cody.
Well, no.
And it shouldn't have went this long, and he'll be pushed to the limit by Joey Janela. And maybe they're trying to build Joey, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Well, so you have to understand, when you deal with AEW does something that WWE doesn't do. They have more finishes than WWE does. They more or less wonky. Like, you actually get a legit winner. Compared to NXT, we really didn't get a winner, which pisses me off.
I'm not giving you winners on that show. That's what pissed you off. I'm not giving you those winners.
But the thing about it is that with the announcers, the entire match between Cody and Joey, they started talking about the streak that Joey Janela had been on about winning matches. He was like, he's on a roll. He's won 3 of his last 4 matches and things like that. So they're selling that the offense that he was doing to Cody made sense. At the end of the day, Cody is going to win the match, but you can't just go in there and beat him up, especially when you have a thin roster like AEW does, Marcus. So I guess I can see them giving Joey Janela offense. I just know you hate the man. You hate Joey Janela.
I don't hate this man. I don't hate anybody. I just dislike him to the point of almost hate. It's 2% hate.
I just know for me, I was happy he was kept away from super bad Kip Sabian. I've never thought I'll see the day where I'm happy that super bad Kip Sabian is teaming with Jimmy Havoc, because I never thought I'll see the day that I would care about Jimmy Havoc. Manny, you know, what do you have anything to add to this?
I first of all, I'm just going to say this is the first time I could honestly say I enjoyed the whole of AEW, but then it also made me appreciate the fact that they had noise. Like, that's what I needed. They had background fan noise. They had some people, I don't know if they work there or not, they sprinkled on the hard cam side.
And they had real fans.
I don't think those are real fans, but I still disagree with you with that.
No, I believe I read, so they're real fans. They tested everybody, but it's like if you were just waiting outside, they were like, hey, you want to come see the show?
And it was and the fact that there was noise all throughout the show, enjoyed that. And then it added to what I was watching. So, like, it took it up a bit. which is what I liked about it this week.
The ambient noise. And do you think that you liked it because it's been missing from wrestling for almost 3 months now?
Yeah,
and
I think that's definitely the case. Where I think you get a chance. It builds the momentum. It adds to what is going on in the thing. Like we said in the previous shows, like when this wasn't even a tag match, but it's just like there's certain bits in a match where you need that crowd participation to build back that big comeback or stuff going on in the match.
So
go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What I'm gonna say, like for me, I thought that this was probably one of the most important episodes for AEW to put out, because I think we can all agree that their tape programming was a lot lacking into what was going on, and the live episode gave me everything that I wanted from watching a tape show. I even thought Nyla Rose with her promo before.
Oh man, I thought you come back to me.
Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
Like that.
Go ahead.
I'll add something to say about the crowd and all that.
Go ahead.
And, so this place they're at is also doing the UFC event today, and one of the fighters got coronavirus, and like his quarterman also got coronavirus, and they're filming this all up together, UFC and AEW, like with the same amount of people attesting. Do you feel like this is the safe move to do, to like try to incorporate more people around? Because it does seem like it's enclosed. It looked like they had a lot of people here today. Do you think it's a safe and responsible thing to do, or do you say like, fuck it, let's just do it?
I don't.
For anybody.
I don't, because like when you bring outside entities into a closed environment,
like Jake and kids were there.
It makes it very, very dangerous, because you have these people who maybe they passed the test, but maybe they really were positive, and then it's like when they say that they want to do the NBA season in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is probably the most sketchiest place to do it, because the skanks are going to get through the security, and skanks and security means coronavirus plus other diseases. So I don't know if we need to bring fans right back into the environment. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I thought for me it just felt it was nice hearing the crowd and everything, but I didn't know like how safe is all this? For like I'm not like the biggest like, oh man, we need to quarantine everybody, but I'm still wondering like how safe is all their testing and their procedures of people going through. It just seemed like for Jake to be out there and Jim Ross and all these old dudes, and then you saw kids running around. I was like, man, they're really going through with this. Man, but again, it wasn't nice. It was nice hearing people. Yeah, I thought he was nice. It was nice seeing people. It was nice seeing people, but I'm still against the wrestlers being at ringside, because to me it throws off the whole show. Go ahead with the Nyla Rose stuff, though.
I thought Nyla Rose cut an excellent promo. She said that she was a dominant force. Then she got into the ring and she destroyed Kenzie Page. It was simple. It was clean. I was like, yes.
No, turned 18. They did not have to throw the sympathy card, and she just turned 18. No. And it's probably just legal to wrestle. And Nyla Rose is going to end her career tonight.
You're damn right she is.
Like, what are you watching? She's going to kill her tonight. But overall, I thought they did a good job in, I guess, reestablishing the women's division that has disappeared from the show. Like, because there is only like maybe one woman. There's only been like one woman really on the show, and it's been Brandi and maybe Penelope Ford.
Well, that's the that is the problem that I have, though, because once again AEW is going back to their well. Normally, when you have a number one contender, that's Sheeta's the number one contender. However,
she's been number one contender.
Yes, but Marcus, in AEW. They're doing the hard reset next week, so you don't know what's going to happen. They're having that fatal...
She's just been sitting in the crowd.
They have that fatal four-way matches where it's Sheeta, Baker, I think Statlander, and somebody else. And normally the person who's ranked number one never wins that match. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Sheeta doesn't get that. Sheeta needs to start demanding her match. This is ridiculous. She's been sitting in the crowd for every single show. Every single show. She's been there, and she's been the number one contender. And she isn't losing when she wrestles. It's outrageous. Just because the champion isn't around. I mean, first you have Rio, who was never around, and it went before coronavirus ever existed. Now Nyla Rose finally shows up again. Sheeta is still not getting her contender match. But they are having that what, Fatal 4-Way, Penelope Ford, Sheeta, and somebody else, and whatchamacallit.
And I'm like, well, now here go Penelope Ford and Superbad going in. Manny, do you have anything to add with Nyla Rose?
No, not really. I think I think she's worse than Nia Jax, but
really, I think she's better than Nia Jax.
But like you're comparing someone that is technically who's that? I can't even remember his name now. The guy that Jericho brought in to the Inner Circle for like 2 weeks.
The Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb. She's basically Jeff Cobb. They're the same person. You never see him at the same time. Same person.
Okay. So with that being said, Manny, what did you think of MJF's promo? Because I thought it was good, but then they ruined it for me.
The green screen promo.
Yes.
I think it would have been good if they played this last week, because this was way better than what I got from him last week, because it didn't make sense to have him in the crowd whilst playing that.
And that was my big issue. Like, once you showed me this, I figured he wasn't there. And then they showed that. Then they showed the Shawn Spears video package, which I guess we're somehow transitioning back to Shawn Spears and Cody, because Shawn Spears was talking about how awful Cody was, that if he had a brother, he would have threw the towel in. Marcus, I'll let you know. I'm not throwing the towel in for you, Marcus. I'm going to let you fight your fight.
And if you did throw the towel in, well, if I was in that fight and you came in to throw the towel in, I would have hoped you threw that towel in, because it gives me an excuse to say, I would have kicked his ass, man. You should have never stopped that. But realistically, that's the way I would go. I was just like, be really upset that I wouldn't be happy inside, but not tell anybody that I was really happy he threw a towel, because I was going to die. I would be ecstatic that, like, yes, but outside, how could you throw that towel in? I had him.
But are you in agreement with Manny that having MJF be there after his promo kind of lessened the promo?
Well, the whole thing with the promo, I didn't like the promo because of the green screen. It was too distracting for me. Like, I felt like I was watching Nick Arcade from back in 1989. That's how bad that green screen was.
Don't diss Nick Arcade.
I am not. It was advanced technology for its time. But with that being said, Nick Arcade should not.
That's how Nick Arcade works. You like that?
What am I doing? Like, I can imagine the people playing Nick Arcade. Like, what am I actually doing right now?
But
I look stupid.
I think every kid at our generation wanted to be on Nick Arcade. It's what we wanted to do. It was like,
well, I didn't know green screen existed. I thought they were actually doing, like, in the game. I was so naive that I didn't think that. I was like, wow, they put them in the game. That's so dope.
But back to your point of MJF.
Shout out to Omar Epps. But
why is it shout out to Omar Epps?
No, you the host of Nick Arcade?
No, he was not, Mario. It was just a black man. It was not Omar Epps.
It wasn't Omar Epps?
No.
I thought he was the host of that and Wild and Crazy Kids.
No.
It wasn't Omar Epps.
It was Omar Gooden. Well, Omar Gooden did Wild and Crazy Kids.
Oh, Omar Gooden. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not Omar Epps. Fuck Omar Epps.
Oh, Omar Epps was Dr. House.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He was also.
It was. If it can focus, it can't focus.
Who's that? Chris Rock?
No, it's Phil Moore. The host was known as Phil Moore. That's who the host was for Nick Arcade.
You know, I hope he saved his money. But oh yeah, the green screen to me was too distracting. And I couldn't see Eric. That could be anybody. Actually, it looks like Chadwick Boseman.
No, he looks like Tracy
Morgan?
Tracy Morgan.
Morgan?
Yeah, Tracy Morgan.
So, yeah, God rest his soul. I bet you know, he's big time somewhere. I'm sure he made it.
Big time.
But yeah, the green screen took me out. Then they did the promo on the thing, and I was like, this is not crazy.
Then for me, like, then Tony Schiavone announced that at Double or Nothing he's fighting Jungle Boy, and I was like, well, that kind of contradicts his entire promo about people are upset with his age being a problem, that he's 24 and he's just successful. Now he's fighting Jungle Boy, who is technically younger than him.
But he's not successful.
Yeah, but
he's a very unsuccessful person. And I don't know why he was upset with fighting Jungle Boy. Like, that Jungle Boy has not beaten nobody.
Well, Marcus, Marcus, let me point out to you. If you were told that you were fighting somebody from the Lucha Express or the Jurassic Express,
Express, not the Lucha Party.
You want the little one that I can't remember his name.
Marco Stunt.
Yeah, you want Marco Stunt.
You beat Marco Stunt, you get title shots.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want Marco Stunt.
Because you get title shots for beat Marco. But the fact that he fights Jungle Boy, the whole thing with me in this company is that they always say wins and losses matter, but when you tell me, MJF has won everything there is to be won. He's won that diamond ring. He's beaten Cody. He's had other matches that he's won, but he doesn't have title shots. He's not in tournaments, and now he's fighting Jungle Boy for no reason. And I feel like that it doesn't make sense in that vein.
I don't believe they.
And that's why they need to stop doing wins and losses matter.
They didn't say that tagline this week, Marcus.
They always say it.
No,
they say it at least like 5 times. Yeah, and it's frustrating to hear that and then what they actually put on, because I believe the next segment is Moxley and Cass, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, what a smooth transition.
But you're not. It's not your job to transition, sir. It's my job to transition. So transitioning.
Hey, I'm a human being. I have rights. I can transition whenever I choose to do it.
But speaking of Moxley and Cass, I thought this match was better than what I expected. I thought Cass carried Mox to a better match. I also like what the announcers were doing, where they were trying to plant the seeds that SCU may be considering pursuing singles careers. And I guess that would explain the packages for.
But this is my frustration with this. You give me 800 packages. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 of Scorpio Sky's life. But he's never featured on the show. Like, it'd be like the WWE when they were doing the Jeff Hardy packages to never put Jeff Hardy back on TV in a match. On contract, like Jeff Hardy did his segments this week, and then he said he's going to return. He comes to the ring and talks. But we haven't had anything with Scorpio Sky. It's like they randomly did a video package to spotlight him, but they have no future plan to do anything with him. Like, this match felt like, to me, it should have been Scorpio Sky versus Jon Moxley. And, I mean, he can lose or whatever, but instead of Cass.
As Manny looks like he reaches for a bottle of something, and I'm not... Manny, do you agree with Marcus in this situation?
I agree with him to a point, but I had other problems with this whole thing, where it was more personal than anything.
It's right here, right in my heart.
What are those personal problems, Manny? As I get my psychologist look on.
So, if you can see this test video, all 3 of us gentlemen have shaved heads.
Yes.
Mine is mainly because I'm losing my hair.
Mine was because I lost it also.
So,
what's hair?
For months, I believed Frankie Kazarian was going bald. What happened this week? Man had a full head of hair. Full head of hair. He shaved his head because he felt like it. I did not like this. This is the only haircut I can have. I did not appreciate Frankie Kazarian.
Hold on. I can defend Frankie Kazarian hair. I can defend it.
No.
Who's going to do his hair right now? Who's going to shave his hair right now or take care of him? He had to do what he had to do.
He can shave it himself. I shaved mine myself.
I just want to point out.
No. If you are going bald, for some people who are sensitive on this, if you're going bald, you cannot shave it yourself, because if the next time you go see your barber, they're going to look at that. What did you do? I can't fix this. It's just going to be bald forever now.
No, like the greatest thing, I showed up to work, and I haven't been into work physically in about 3 weeks. And then people was like, who cut your hair? I was like, I've been shaving my head for the last 5 years. It's just because you guys can't cut your hair. Now you notice that I cut my own hair. I was shocked and appalled by the situation. Like, I didn't have a choice in this. Like, it started going George Jefferson, and I was like, I can't do, like, this right here It don't grow anything anymore. I don't know what happened. It's so frustrating. And then compare that we got Ryan that's in Marcus' apartment right now with a full fucking hair head. You remember that one time, Marcus, we wanted to cut his hair off? Well, at least I wanted to cut his hair off.
He has a bald spot in the back somewhere. I'll find it.
He do.
If you look at it, he picks over it and stuff, but I see it there.
I would drive to the sweet streets of Long Beach just to see that bald spot.
It's really reaching though. It's not. It's promised. It's mostly a full head of hair. It's like when our Uncle Steve was going bald.
Yeah.
And he's like, he looks like he still got hair, but there's something going on back there.
We're not here to talk about Uncle Steve.
He's always leaning against the wall.
So this match took place. Moxley won. Immediately after defeating Cass, he is jumped by the Dark Order. The thing that stood out the most to me about the Dark Order was Dark Order member number 10. He is new. We don't know who he is. He is jacked. And the announcers didn't pay any attention or reference him, just saying that he's 10. And then next thing you know, Brody Lee comes out and he attacks Moxley and he challenges it to a match or double or nothing. And Moxley says, that's all you had to do was ask. And then after the next commercial break, they announce at Double or Nothing, it's Brody Lee versus Moxley for the title. Does this mean, Marcus,
ratings don't matter?
That the rankings are over?
No, the rankings are dead. This man has fought nobodies.
He has.
He's beaten jobber after jobber. There's no reason he should all of a sudden jump over people of the likes of Pac or Kenny Omega. I know Cody number 1 or Isha MJF. There's no reason you could just be like, hey, I want a title shot. He straight up WWE this belt title shot. He just looked at the belt.
Jericho doesn't even get a rematch. That's even worse. And he's managed to get a title match just like that.
This is a
Jake Hager. I felt like faked a push to get his title match, but yet this one seemed more rushed than Jake Hager.
Yeah,
this was just like, hey, here I am. Give me a title match.
I mean, it's that whole TNA model, WWE reject, instant title match. And, I mean, I get it. I don't know if I'm invested in this match because I don't know if Luke, I'm sorry, he's not Luke anymore. If Brody.
His mama named Luke, I'll call Luke.
I don't know if Brody and John can produce a match that I care about. I was just more interested in new Dark Order member number 10 and where was Evil Uno and Stu Grayson at? Because I ain't seen him on TV in about 2 months.
They ain't care about the COVID situation, and they're not showing up.
Manny, who was the Dark Order member number 10, though? Who had the 10 on his chest?
I don't know, but I was very drawn to him because he was the only one wearing knee pads and a knee brace. And I was just like, why is he wearing a knee pad and knee brace?
And he had no shirt on.
That one didn't respect. I mean, there were guys with shirt and ties. There were guys just in dress shirt. This guy was like, I do what I want. But, I think that's the guy who he was talking about in that meeting. Remember they were like, oh, you 6'2", you jacked,
I'm
you who I like.
But this is the only time Brody Lee, as the Exalted One, looked like the Exalted One, where he was not beating up jobbers or anything. He was the last one in the ring. He held up the title belt, which, for production value, really annoyed me that no one bothered to turn it around when you kept pointing to it while it was on the ground before he stole it.
No, this is what
he stole the belt, by the way.
This is what, to me, the Exalted One was supposed to be. You're not supposed to get your hands dirty with the minions. You only supposed to go big game hunting. You go after champions. Like, you kind of do what the Murder Hawk has done. You go after Caesar. You don't go after Joe Blow, Pineapple Pete that you're beating up in the ring. You don't do that. You go after the top gun. So, like I said,
missed the Joe Blow match. I must have missed that one.
Now, this is where everyone has always talked about Triple H and how him marrying Stephanie McMahon and stuff got him on television for stuff for no good apparent reason. I would have to say, I think the next segment is the epitome of that because it is the Brandi Rhodes promo that, to sum things up, the promo wishes to say, Cody Rhodes ain't shit. He ain't gonna rescue me if something bad happens. And that's all I took from that promo. And I was like,
that promo?
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't need this for Brandi being all serious. She put on her best suit, and she's just pretty much saying, Cody will not come out here and save me if the shit hit the fan. So don't go with the theory that Eric had last week. Don't beat up my brother, but beat up my wife. Then Cody would come save me. Because that shit will not work. So I felt like Brandi was talking to me, telling me that my idea of having her be destroyed so, Cody would fight the Murder Hawk would be fine. That was not the case. Now, Marcus,
I thought this promo was absolutely terrible. Absolutely. I think every week that AEW is around, the more segments that involve Brandi Rose, it's the more I go, they need to stop using her. And I don't know, there needs to be an intervention. But I don't think it's ever going to happen because this is Cody. He is the big boss. You cannot go and hey, man, your wife, though, I think she fucking up. You can't, you can say it, but you're going to be like, you can suggest other ideas, but Cody going to be like, man, that's my wife. And then how is he going to go to his wife after he done took her Nightmare Collective away?
Like, remember,
he done snatched that away.
It took a
pandemic. Luther and Mel.
Marcus, remember, it took a pandemic and 4 weeks of the Nightmare Collective to be destroyed. That was the only reason why it was stopped.
It was casually stopped.
Manny, are you in agreement with Marcus and I that this Brandi promo was bad, but it was necessary though?
It wasn't.
It was bad, and there's a reason why she was a ring announcer and just a ring announcer in WWE.
Yeah, the week steps were just showing that she was upset that Vince wouldn't let her wrestle, but your selling is terrible as the stomach pains you had last week in the water. The promo work is not good.
Even the hosting. So she does this cooking thing on one of their channels.
It's her own YouTube channel. It's called Cooking with Brandi. I watched a couple of.
She can't host on that.
No,
it's terrible.
Her biggest issue for me with Brandi is that Brandi comes across as very prepared. Like, it's very contrived. It's not a natural, organic feeling when she's delivering her message. Like, when she's delivering the message, Cody Rhodes ain't shit. He's only focused on his task. He's not going to come and rescue me in this situation. It's just not going to happen.
That's what you said in the promo.
Huh?
I hate my husband. He ain't shit. He a piece of shit that eats pizza on the couch, and he has me clean it up.
Jake,
I feel like that's not what she was saying.
Jake, don't think that you beating me up is going... Like, she technically foreshadowed this. Like, but for me, the fact that she didn't come out with Cody in the opening match in her different outfit than she comes out when she accompanies somebody else, it spoke volumes to me because it was so... It was disjointed because she came out to the ring with QT Marshall, who we found out through commentary works in the front office somehow, and he was going against the Murder Hawk Archer. This match happened. It was a match that got to a point that made the show go, oh, this is not WWE television right here. Because next thing you know, Brandi is in the ring checking on QT Marshall after he gets destroyed. Jake the Snake Sting gets up and somehow...
I don't believe that's the way this happened.
Eric, you're missing one important part.
You're missing Dr. Britt Baker.
Who throws a shoe at Brandi? Who throws a shoe?
You're right.
Well, Dr. Britt Baker had to hit... she hit him with the shoe. And then Brandi comes over there and like, you can't be doing that with that shoe, and then throws the shoe. I would say a pretty good distance. Like, if there was a shoe throwing competition, I feel like Brandi could be good at that.
That was at least 40 yards.
Can I tell you guys?
Yeah, that was
I thank you guys for reminding me because this did lead to my favorite segment of the whole show. Is because
when Jake rapes?
No, because then Brittany.
I love that.
He couldn't get it up. So no, that's not my little thing. So technically, Britt Baker attacks Brandi, beats her down, and this leads Jake to get off his dying couch to go and get his snake. He ain't brought the snake out at all. And honestly, Peter might be offended how he was handling that snake because I think he stepped on the snake like 3 different times.
No one cares about snake. He snapped on it, slapped it, No one cares about snakes, Eric.
But when he did the push-up, like he was going to thrust into Brandi and signify rape, I was like, oh my God, we're going into the danger zone.
So, I'm going to chime in on this.
Go ahead.
And this is my entire problem with the crowds or the good guys and the wrestlers being ringside. No one did shit. No one did shit. I mean, for example, the heel side is like being in the heel lumberjack match over there. You get some MJF taunting, maybe some Sean Spears, and you get the Dr. Britt Baker who's going to hit you with a shoe. She's done it 2 weeks in a row. I think they need to bar her for ringside. I'm just saying. And so you get the heel side that's very active. The face side, they just stand there. They just let bad shit happen. And I believe WWE gets shit for when, or in wrestling in general, when somebody's getting jumped, you're like, how come nobody ran out and saved them? And this one, you have no good excuse of why the baby faces didn't run out and save them. There's none.
I have one.
What's your excuse?
There's a murder hawk standing in that ring. And he had a tramp stamp. There is no telling the pain limits of this man. Are you going into that ring to save her, knowing full well you're going to get your ass handed to you?
I don't know. I feel like if I was walking down the street, even though I see, let's say, Brock Lesnar is on the street raping somebody, I feel like I could go over there and be like, hey, man, you shouldn't be doing that. And I may not do anything, but I may walk over there and be like, hey, man, you need to calm, you chill.
I got two reasons.
Nah, fam.
I got two. First reason, maybe the faces are scared of snakes. That could be a possibility. But the main reason...
Yeah, he's thrusting on a woman.
Marcus, the main reason, we're going to come down to it. They don't like Brandi. They're tired of Brandi being on television. And they finally figured out...
But that's their boss. Huh? If I'm Cody, I'm firing all of them.
No.
The best friends over there? Chucky T? Trent? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing about this?
Those are not his close friends, Marcus. Those are not his close friends. Those are associates.
We're gonna make... But
employees.
Even these employees who pretend to be Cody's friends tend to do anything. The fault goes on Cody. The give me excuse that he decided to go to the shower early and that the locker rooms are far away is a horrible excuse.
No.
When the man that you're going to fight, you're going to fight for the TNT title at Double or Nothing, and you know your wife is at ringside.
He didn't know.
You're not going to watch.
He didn't know. Marcus, no.
Marcus, how you not know your wife?
I'm going to defend Cody right now. Listen to me. I'm defending Cody. When Cody came out for his match against Joey Janela, and he realized that Brandi didn't go to ringside with him, he didn't think she was going to ringside with anybody that night. No one knew QT Marshall could convince her.
I give you that one. She a strong, independent black woman, okay? I give you that one. But I can't give you that you're not watching your opponent, the Murder Hawk and Jake the Snake Roberts at ringside. I don't need to see this shit.
Marcus,
who does that? When you are studying to fight this guy, I feel like this guy would do something. He's been threatening me and my family. He's been talking about my wife and everything. There's a member of my Nightmare Teen Wrestling. I feel like this is a match that you would miss. I'm going to hit the showers early. He could have still... Hey, how long does this man take a shower?
Marcus,
he could have hit the showers after his match. He could have came back and watched the rest of the show. He is an EVP. I do not find it believable that he was not around. No, I have not. I'm going to keep on rambling until I run out of words. I'm going to need a drink of water after I'm done with this shit. Because I could find no reason in this filibuster I'm doing that Cody Rhodes, was not watching this match. He let his wife get raped by Jake the Snake. Raped by the Snake.
Manny, would you like to chime in before I talk to Marcus real quick?
You're not talking to Marcus anymore. You're talking to angry Stephen A. Smith right now. I'm just going to say, Brandi put herself in that position. First of all, she shouldn't have thrown that shoe.
Hold on, man. You sure you want to go down this route of a raping? You don't put. She should have worn that outfit. She put herself in that scenario. No, don't do that about rape.
She put herself in that scenario, and then if you throw someone's shoe and they jump over the guardrail and DDT you, because of your own wrongdoing. That's your fault. That is your fault. You made that decision. And then when she threw in the ring, that's her fault too. She shouldn't have gone to ringside. Shouldn't have gone to ringside.
It's QT Marshall. She's been working with him.
No, QT Marshall. He gets paid to wrestle.
And he has a front office job.
I still put the blame on Cody.
Stephen A.
He knew his wife was going out there. He knew his wife was going out there.
No, he did not. I told you, Marcus. I told you.
He knew it. And as much as I want to believe that he hit the showers early and that he didn't know his wife was going out, she's been out the ring. She's walked out to every QT Marshall matches.
You've said this already. It is my turn to speak, Marcus.
She's walked out.
Where's the mute button so I can mute you, Marcus? Let me point out. Let me
Give
tell
me
you how
my
you're wrong.
points.
Let me
Give
tell
me
you how
my
you're wrong,
points,
Marcus.
Reality.
Let me tell you how you're wrong. Let me tell you how you're wrong, buddy. Listen to me, buddy. You're wrong.
Okay, pal.
You're wrong.
Okay, buddy.
For the simple reason. The one consistent thing about AEW is that Cody Rhodes, he curtain jerks, then he goes back to the back, he takes a shower, and he puts his full-fledged suit on. We don't know why.
He came out. Hold a minute. That time when Nick Jackson got attacked by the door, he came back in his full suit and ran out and said, "Look, the thing is, Eric, how long does it take to take a shower?"
Buddy.
His match was at the start of the show. This happened at the end. Toward the end, an hour and a half later.
Hey, buddy.
What he doing in that shower?
Can you let me talk? Can you let me speak?
Go ahead and finish.
The announcers pointed out that the locker room from the ringside thing is extremely far away, that you have to take a golf cart to get there. There was no golf carts available for Cody to make it to the ring to save Brandi. And AEW, to their credit, Marcus, they went and showed the golf cart that was being used in the street fight to justify that Cody could not make it to the ring to save his wife. And on top of that, Brandi said that Cody wouldn't come save her. She said
I have it documented in time card on here. On this piece of paper right here. I have it stamped. It is a bill. It is a bill. But if I wanted to give it something that was time card, it looks something like that. That Cody finished his match at around 8:22 Eastern time. Jake did rape his wife into about 11 or I don't know what time it would have been. Maybe 9, something like that. An hour later and a half. He's had time to get back to watch the show. I'm just saying he had time to come back and watch the damn show.
No, because he went to the pay window and started counting his money.
Now,
bravo, well played. That was real money.
Now, with all that being said, allow me to be serious for a moment. I understand that AEW wants to be that new edgy type of content, but is simulated rape really the right approach to go to, Manny?
I don't think it was necessarily rape. I feel like it was a message, but it wasn't. He did not penetrate. He penetrated nothing.
But
okay, it may not be rape, but I'm sure that's sexual harassment.
No, so like for me, the whole segment.
There was no penetration, and yes, Jake can't get his trouser snake up anymore.
Marcus, hold up. Like for me, when he put the snake on her, I was fine. When he kept moving the snake around, I was perfectly fine. When the announcers were trying to say, what is he trying to apply? I don't even care. It's just that when he tried to do the push-up, I was like, what are you doing, Jake? Why are we even here?
He's old. His hips gave out.
Maybe. But that's when business picked up with AEW right there.
And the Jake Roberts.
Right there and there, it was like, it makes sense.
If I was in the stands, the "you deserve it" chant would have happened. You deserve it. You deserve it.
I can see Manny outside of a club after a woman's been roofied, going like, "Yeah, she deserves that shit."
No, he would not.
That's to a whole new level. That is wrong.
Marcus, I think what Manny is trying to say, Marcus, if the live audience would have been there, they would probably been more cheering Brandi getting attacked, because I don't think there's anybody but Cody and Brandi that wants Brandi on TV. I think that's what it comes down to. And no disrespect, but the point is that it did lead to, I would say, one of the biggest exclamation points of AEW history, and that is the street fight. The street fight that took place on this episode of AEW was so entertaining. And once again, it involves two of the people that I feel is the backbone of AEW, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, Les Sex Gods, going against Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. Now, my favorite part of this match, it had nothing to do with the match, is that when you go backstage, you see Dr. Britt Baker. And I, being who I am, a person who looks at everything, I looked down at her feet. And I realized she had both of her shoes on. So she eventually, after she whooped Brandi's ass, she walked over there and got her other shoe. And I was so happy about that moment. Now, Marcus, what did you think about this street fight?
Or Louis Vuitton or something they said. Well, let's talk about the street fight. One, my favorite moment of the match, by far. And even more than the Sammy Guevara spot, was before the match started, is when Jericho and Pineapple Pete randomly start fighting to start the match.
I was going to pick up on that, because I did a screen grab of what happened afterwards, and I feel like this man right here, does his eyes not say N-word right there when he was looking up that? Like, he didn't say it, but like, it definitely looks like
100% agree.
I think both Marcus and I marked out with the whole idea, and they did announce that Pineapple Pete and Jericho will be fighting next week, because it was the one thing of all the tapings that you took away from it was Pineapple Pete, also known as Shug D, and Jericho had beef for whatever reason. And they decided that they're going to give the fans this match for whatever reason. We're getting that next week, and I couldn't be more excited for that. Now, Marcus, continue with your thoughts on the street fight.
A lot of stuff. For me, it was entertaining, but for me and AEW, it just has the same issue AEW has. There's so much logic in there that I have to disbelieve into an AEW match sometimes. The whole Matt Hardy. I'm tired.
You choking?
Damascus is coming out.
Is Damascus?
The whole thing with Matt Hardy changing clothes, I couldn't get past it. He just left his partner to change his clothes. Kenny Omega is getting his ass beat. And yet you have to go change your clothes. And he does it 3 times in this match, I think. And it's just like, why would you do that? And then there's times where Jericho just disappears. Like, Hager just gets in a match. He jumps in, and I'm all for it. There's no rules. I'm all for it. Like, I don't understand what took him so long to just, like the match came close to them losing, and then him pulling the ref to be like, I guess I can get involved in this. He should just jump around the back. And it was just so much insanity. And they threw Matt Hardy into the ice box.
My favorite spot, Marcus.
He could have came out. They didn't lock the ice box.
Marcus.
There's a lock on those ice boxes. They could have locked it. And I was so upset that they didn't lock it. I would have wanted them to rather lock it and him having to use Hocus Pocus to get out.
You missed it because they hit him with a bag of ice first, which was hilarious. They hit him with the ice.
Why was there a bag of ice there anyway?
There's
no one there.
They hit him with the bag of ice, and then someone said, I think he could fit into this ice box. You're right, Marcus. They should have had a stick and jabbed it so he couldn't get out. Would have made it even more hilarious. He had to use his mystical powers to escape.
And anybody criticized Jericho for putting him, if it's not a hillbilly to put him in the icebox, come back, that was Matt Hardy's original plan. He tried to put Jericho in the icebox first. So anyway, when they have this 2-on-1 advantage, Jericho randomly just disappears. And it's just Sammy Guevara and Kenny Omega fight. I have no idea where Jericho went. He was never hit by anything. After he put Matt Hardy in the icebox, he just disappeared for like 10 minutes. Or it was probably like 2 minutes or whatever, but he just disappeared. And it's just Hagar and Sammy Guevara fighting Kenny Omega when they could have had a 3-on-1 advantage. Then the golf cart got involved. Jericho took the worst golf cart bump I've ever seen in my life, in which he just was a man that decided to slap the hood and pretend to fall down. With that being said, it led to the best golf cart bump of all time, when Sammy Guevara sees that they're on their way. My greatest thing is that golf cart was like a tank. It was huge. And you trying to tell me that golf cart couldn't get Cody back and forth in a timely manner to save his wife? That thing was faster than my car. So anyway, Sammy's running. Instead of doing the zigzag, he goes with the, I'm going to say Bram Stark, but I don't remember what Stark got shot with the arrow on Game of Thrones that could have just zigzagged a little bit, but decided to run in a straight line as Ramses is shooting the arrow at him. I don't know, but Sammy Guevara decides to run straight and then stop because he thinks he outran the cart, I think. And then he jumps right into the cart and died. He literally died. Like, he died. And somehow they still won this match.
Manny, how did you feel about the street fight?
The thing with the ice reminded me of the snowball fight from Dwight and Jim in The Office. And the fact that when Jim was bleeding and then Dwight had to text him with a distance of maybe 2 meters, do you want to put some ice on that? I feel like they should have done that.
Miss opportunity for the guy.
But this whole match was crazy, and it's the fact that I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting just this like gang beating, but then it just went everywhere, and it was just like, I love this. This is the only thing, like, to add to the point of this is the only time I can fully say I enjoyed the whole of AEW.
Yeah, because it built up gradually to like stuff like it was a different show, and the next thing it ended with the Inner Circle. Whatever, had the budget to get the Jumbotron to have Inner Circle in the background, and they pose with their middle fingers up. And I'm like, and why is this man not the champion anymore? It was so much fun.
Because he's the star of the show. He doesn't need the belt. Jericho is AEW. He's bigger than that company. And it shows every single week when he was on commentary, whether he's having these random ass matches. I mean, him even putting the cone on, pretending to be a witch for like 2 seconds. Like, he just went, and it's like hitting somebody with a cone. And it's like, what is that? It's so ridiculous. And like, to me, this was the equivalent when you were kids and you decided to just play fight. And everybody was just having a good time, and there was the most random shit happening. I mean, Kenny Omega doing the moves. I didn't really need him doing the moonsault off the thing, because it was just people waiting for his moonsault. But it happened.
I feel like that's the only thing that seemed out of place in this. The moonsault, it was really out of place. It's the fact that if he missed, he would have been dead and would have lost the match himself.
I mean, and besides that moonsault attempt, I thought Kenny came across really strong in the match, and then he decided to do some stupid shit like that. I don't know. At the end of the day, I finished watching AEW and I had a good feeling, and they did what they needed to do with their first live show being back. I mean, I walked away, I was like, wow. And for the first time, I walked away feeling good. And I watched NXT first, and I wasn't too happy with NXT.
Before we get to your unhappiness, I'm going to say the Inner Circle's name on the board with them sticking their fingers out, it's the greatest snapshot ending to a show I've seen in a long time. Where it's just like, hey, we're just going to flick off the TV and say Inner Circle in the background. I felt like that was the greatest outro, because normally somebody holding the belt or somebody just screaming at the camera, but them just posing in front of a sign. It made no sense for them to have that set up anyway, because what if the match didn't go there? But I'm 100% in support of that.
It made up for the bubbly bunch. That's all I got to say. But something that didn't sit right with me, and it's weird for me to go and say that NXT did not live up to my expectation, and I watched it first again. Manny's dying on the video right there, and because he's choking up because NXT just failed to deliver something new and fresh outside of the debut of Karrion Kross. We started.
You're wrong, man. I thought it was a good show.
I mean,
I thought it was a solid B.
Yeah, I mean,
show.
It's a good show, but after you have the excitement of AEW, you realize the predictability that WWE gives you all the time. We can even start off with the Gargano-Dijakovic match, which was pretty much made because Dijakovic was upset of Gargano, and then he decided to walk into the building and was like, I'm going to fight you next week. They have a match. They have, Evil, why can't I think of her name?
LeRae.
Candice LeRae comes out to the ring, and then he wins with the fluke turnbuckle spot. That's how he beats Dijakovic. I'm like, do I really need that for Johnny Gargano? Because I don't think you can make money with Dijakovic anymore. Manny, do you have anything?
I think there's money there. You gave up on him?
I think there's money there, but when he's not with Keith Lee, he just seems very, very raw.
Yeah.
Like, his trash talk was poor. He seemed like he was definitely missing something from what I saw against Gargano, and maybe it's a step up. From Gargano from Keith Lee, but I don't think it's that big of a step up.
But the difference is that Gargano is a little guy. Keith Lee is a big guy, and he's basically trying to sell for a smaller person. I believe Dijakovic's on the wrong show. He needs to be moved to one of the shows where there's actually size on the roster, maybe a SmackDown or Raw, because he just doesn't fit with everybody else. Like Keith Lee, and I feel like even what's the guy that talks with the voice? Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest. They can be more versatile than him with smaller wrestlers. I don't know if Dijakovic could do that with small wrestlers because he wrestles like a small guy. It's like a center that's going out shooting threes and not pounding in the paint.
But that's the thing. I think he would stand out more on the main roster, and then I don't think his longevity will be there. Because like if he continues to wrestle that way, his knees are going to take effect. That thing when he did the flip and he landed on his knees, I was like, he can't do that every night. His knees would go. Tall, big guys should not be wrestling like that.
Yeah, he needs to adopt more of a big man style, and he hasn't. And he's more trying to do these I'm gonna say lightweight cruiserweights or wrestle like he wrestles like Aleister Black or something. I don't know. When he's not as limber or as small, he should adopt a big style. And then every now and then he can throw some of his athletic moonsault whatever out there, but just be a big man. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. The turnbuckle spot, I'm so over that spot. It's been done for the past 500 years. I don't think people need to do that anymore.
I mean, I think it just leads to the predictability that WWE has gotten. And when you go to AEW, and yes, this is a one episode of AEW where they did things that was unpredictable and it made you go, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. It's something that makes you a little bit worrisome about the WWE product when you can actually watch your product and predict exactly what's going to take place. I mean, when you knew Dijakovic and Gargano was going against each other, you knew Gargano was winning. Like there's no doubt in your mind, and you knew it would be some trickery. I just wish it was better trickery than the old turnbuckle spot. Like, oh my God, he took the pad off. Now the turnbuckle is so hot it knocked myself out. I hate that spot. It's the most played out spot in wrestling to me. I hate the turnbuckle. I rather maybe you could have had him be knocked out with some Candice LeRae dry ass leftover chicken or something like that. It would have been better for me than that turnbuckle spot. I'm just saying.
The chicken's still frozen. And start throwing it at him.
And then,
but yeah.
And then I'm not going to even spend much time on this, but the whole Cruiserweight tournament was destroyed in one night. With Tozawa defeating Gallagher, he eliminates Swerve and Gallagher from contention because he has all these wins. And then when Kushida wins, it eliminates it eliminated Atlas and somebody else. So now we're left with...
How did Atlas get eliminated?
Because he has 2 losses.
Atlas has 1 loss.
Oh, well, then he's not eliminated.
Well, you can't. I'm like, wait, Atlas can go.
Well, Group B
has 1 loss.
Group B is messed up, Marcus. Swerve is eliminated.
I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of ties.
No, I think
because everybody's like 2-1 or 1 and you either out. I think it's like only 3 people out.
I think Tozawa's undefeated. He hasn't lost.
Yeah, Tozawa's undefeated,
and he's in Group B.
Tozawa.
So
but he has 1 more match. If he loses his next match, he's 2-1, which would put like everybody in 2-1. Like Swerve can still be 2-1 as well.
I think Swerve is go, Marcus. But
no, Corbin has one win. He's 1-1. Like, it's a bunch of people. I feel like it's going to be a bunch of times that's going to lead into a fatal four-way of some kind. Because everybody has, like, a very similar record. What if it is a tie?
Mark, I think you're the only one that's invested in this tournament.
I'm not 100% invested. I just understand the rules.
Manny,
I'm okay with this tournament.
Are you invested in this tournament?
No. This match between Tozawa and Gallagher, I was like, I was conflicted because of the Asian and British thing. But then... but then...
Y'all should team up.
But then it was more... there's more recollection of... Jack Gallagher got this fighting background where he has competed in MMA, and then he's just proved he's a disgrace to the UK. I'm saying it now. You're a disgrace to the UK, Jack Gallagher.
He's banned for gum bone.
Wow. I mean, like, for me, I was so not invested into this tournament because I just don't care. But I was more invested, and I know Manny's going to make fun of me when I say this, Xia Li and Chelsea Green. I mean,
no, shit.
Marcus, I enjoyed this segment for all...
Everything involved in Xia Li.
No, I enjoyed this segment because you have to admit that the Rob Stone brand is quite weak. However, Aaliyah isn't doing anything. And when Aaliyah got helped up by Rob Stone, I said there is no reason why Aaliyah and Chelsea Green can't team up with each other, form a new group of Bad and Bougie, and go after Alexa and Nikki for the tag team titles. I mean, there's nothing against that.
You should have died.
Wow, Manny, you're shaking your... What have I said that's wrong, Manny?
I'd rather have Sarah Logan still employed than a fire Aaliyah.
Wow.
Oh, come on. Leave Aaliyah alone. This is her first storyline she's actually going to be a part of, it seems like.
I feel like I haven't even thrown any shade at Xia Li this week either, because Aaliyah has overshadowed how much I dislike her.
Why do you dislike Aaliyah?
It just feels like she's useless. Like, she does nothing. She's done nothing. Even when she was on that NXT documentary, what was it, Rising Up or something?
Breaking Ground or something like that. I don't know. Make up a word, yeah.
Yeah, she did look like she was gonna make it in that. But just like, why is she still employed?
Well, she's still young. She's still like 23, 24 years old. She's been in the company for like 8 years, but she's still in her early 20s.
That would be illegal work employment. I mean, unless she had a permit.
You started girl wrestling at 18 on AEW. You don't give me illegal. You can start wrestling at 16 or something. I'm not saying you can wrestle at whatever age you want. What I'm saying, she's been learning a long time, and she finally had a spot, and you can put her with the Rob Stone brand, and maybe Aaliyah can go somewhere with this. If not, she's done. This is her last shot. Like, I believe this is in the meeting. I can see Triple H looking at her and say, "This is your last chance, Aaliyah. This is your last chance. You don't get a single one. All right? After that, we're done. All right? Go to the main roster." And she's like, "No!
I think we can...
Don't make me fight Nia Jax."
I think we can all agree that the one thing that NXT did get right this week was the debut of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. And I was so glad that they didn't try to rough this about and mess it up, because, you know, he came out to the ring, it was smoke, there was mirrors, there was lights, and then they had Leon Ruff in the ring with his girlfriend, and it just it painted such a perfect picture. I will point out that Leon Ruff might be my favorite jobber in WWE, and I hope he gets his shine one day to have his rough bunch to excel. Marcus,
the rough bunch.
I'm sorry, the rough bunch that delivers the rough stuff, and they're always rough and ready. Man, come on, Marcus.
Yes.
You actually were so excited about this debut. You posted on social media talking about, man, now that's the interest, Marcus. What wowed you about this interest?
Well, it was smoke. That was in black and white. It was the color shades of red. It was the lip sync challenge that Scarlett was doing. It was him standing there going like, man, he looked impressive. It looked like he could whoop anybody's ass. It was the fear in Leon Ruff's eyes, who is the best jobber in the game. and his inevitable execution. And the entire time you look at it, you go, that's a star. That's a motherfucking star.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll put money on him. Like, that was an investment that you feel like he is not long for NXT or he is the star they needed. And he was like a combination of Finn Balor and Aleister Black, but a grown-up size.
When I saw him, and Manny, I will get to you, he was the first person I said to myself, I was like, oh, that man is going to dethrone Adam Cole as the champion. Like, that's the next NXT champion. I mean, that's the first thing. It's like, and I know Clint in the mid-card mess had been hyping up him for so long, and I was like, who is this guy? I know who that guy is now, and I'm all behind this guy. Manny, you nodded your head in approval. I mean, did you agree?
I liked what I saw. I got very Sin City vibes with the entrance. Yeah. And then the pure destruction of our boy, Leon Ruff. The smoke hasn't even cleared by the time he
Well, the fact is that Leon Ruff had to fight Aleister Black, and Aleister Black just sat down in the ring and he didn't know what to do with it. You can tell he was confused on why they keep putting him in matches like this. With these demonic figures.
But you have to also realize they gave him a break, Marcus, because after Aleister Black, they let him fight Sheamus. And he was ready for Sheamus, but then Sheamus just whooped his ass. So he went back, and now he has another demonic character. Leon Ruff is just not really getting luck with the draw. But at the same time, what I liked about the whole idea of Cross is that they have a package. He has a name for his finisher. It makes sense for his character. It's like
he has a catchphrase, fall and pray.
Yeah, it was.
You got Tom Fisco with that man's the devil himself. I felt like I was in the presence of the devil.
And like, although I said that he could dethrone Adam Cole as champion, at the same time, that debut in front of an audience on a SmackDown or a Raw, that becomes an instant star right then and there.
I think long term, I think you're looking more at. I would want Gargano to dethrone Adam Cole, and then you have this mix between Cross and Gargano, because I think that would be the one. That would be the next step, because they have their women by their side, their wives. I'm sure those two are married. And it just makes sense to have that collide and it'd be a bigger angle. Because right now, it's just Johnny and Candice versus whoever steps in front of them. Whereas
Pretty much.
There's an actual challenge with Cross.
But then you also have to throw in the man who just celebrated his 35th birthday, Ciampa. I mean, Ciampa did get choked out by Cross. We still don't know who attacked Finn Balor, and you throw him into the Baylor, whatever his name is, Finn. You know, his mama named the Prince, so I'm gonna call him Prince. You know, you don't know who attacked him. Like, NXT has a good problem of who they're gonna push in this situation, and I'm excited about it. I was excited.
So I think for me, go ahead. No, you're excited. I'm sorry. You're excited.
I was segueing, Marcus. So never mind. Go ahead. You have.
I'm looking forward to the Karrion Kross Finn Balor match. The Demon versus the Man Demon. He should be the one that beats the Demon. The Demon is still technically, I think he's undefeated. Maybe he lost. I don't know. But
the Demon's never lost.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have his record. I'm sure he's undefeated. So if there was somebody that beats the Demon or pushes Finn back into becoming the Demon, I think him and Karrion Kross should have that feud.
But
I think that would just be the money feud.
You know what, Marcus?
NXT.
I really,
but not like right away. Not shotgun. Not Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose situation. All about like you take time, one of them has the belt kind of scenario.
Marcus, I really think the Demon losing is like right up there with the Undertaker streak. And I can see how you want to give it to Cross, but I want to give it to the true man, Walter. I think money is what, although he can't get to the States.
His guys are here though.
That is the match that I wanted. I wanted Finn versus Walter, and I wanted him to win against Finn. And I like Finn, but it's something about that Austrian man that, you know, Austrian man has a good track record coming to America. You have Wolfgang Puck. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger. Walter can be the next one that can be the next great. I gave you 2. That's all I had. With that note,
I don't know what I'm supposed to transition out of you being attracted to Austrian men.
The greatest thing about that's the first time I'm not attractive, Marcus. I'm just saying. That's the first time I have Marcus quiet. Stephen A. Smith was shut up right then and there.
I didn't know what to say to that. Like, okay, you're you know, the way he act like his man is like some Austrian, and he wants to be all the shorts there. He needs some predator. He needs Conan the Barbarian.
With that being said, as Marcus tried to deflect,
he needs a Terminator. He needs the last action hero. He needs a kindergarten cop.
We got Io against Charlotte. And
full Total Recall.
I was excited for this match.
A predator.
However, I think it ended the way every WWE match ends, with a big name that doesn't. Io got the win, but it was via disqualification. So I don't know if this means that the title match that she got against Charlotte is now negated because of that. But then the bigger picture is that Ripley's back now. Marcus, I know you're a huge Io fan. How do you feel about Rhea coming in trying to steal Io's light? Deshaun.
I felt like this was the best case scenario for Io Shirai. Like I didn't want to see her lose to Charlotte. I didn't want to see that. And I feel like her pushing Charlotte and them having a solid match, and Charlotte being desperate, as Charlotte has a history of doing, when she just starts swinging. My phone's dead. Whenever Charlotte gets desperate, she starts swinging kendo sticks at people. I think she did the same thing to Ronda. So I supported this ending, and then Rhea come back with a nice surprise, and they can have their match. But Io is still due for her title shot. I don't think she's taken out the title picture. And even though Rhea was walking away, I appreciated her yelling at Io to shut up, because I don't know what Io was talking about, and she just had to keep telling her, shut up!
Now, Marcus, shut up! Are you at 20% or 10%?
If I'm Io, I got to kick her ass, too.
Are you at 20 or 10%, Marcus?
20.
Okay, we can make it through the show. We don't have much left. Manny, what about you? How did you feel about Rhea making her return and Io being upset?
I think it's definitely what Marcus said. It's just like, you're glad that it ended this way, because then you don't get Charlotte has just destroyed Io and whatever push Io had. I think there's more down the line for Io, and I feel like there's unfinished business with Rhea, which you still want to see. And I think this is the only way it possibly the worth where they're going with it.
I think one.
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
No. You gotta make your point.
No, because I was segued again, because I'm trying to be cognizant of your phone.
But you gotta say one of these big matches for eventually. There's gonna be another takeover or a big show they're gonna do, and one of these matches have to take place on that show.
That
like either a Rhea Charlotte rematch or a Io Charlotte or Io Rhea match, whatever the case may be, whichever direction they want to go, even a triple threat match. You want to save it for a big show. Like NXT is the TV show. TakeOver is where they actually have to finish these feuds. And that's probably been the biggest problem with NXT is that there are no takeovers. There's nothing they can do. They're just stuck.
All right. With that being said, another segment that I did enjoy on NXT was once again it involved Finn Balor. I like when he came out to the clear pedestal, like he was a preacher in some church someplace.
He came out like he was giving out an award.
Yeah.
Has that always been
like he was?
I don't think it's been there.
It's always up there for the Cruiserweight Classic or the Cruiserweight match. That's where they have their interviews after their match.
And
but they moved the podium up the top of the stage. It's at the front, but they moved it for Finn as if he was about to induct himself into the Hall of Fame.
He's so energetic, Marcus is right now. And at this point, Finn comes out and he is supposed to tell us who attacked him. Clear as day, he had no idea who attacked him. And it was like,
I don't know why y'all advertising this. I don't know. I got my ass beat. If I knew, I would be at his house.
But he came out there and he made he made blanket threats to whoever. And clearly, my boy Cameron Grimes was in the shower when these threats were made. Because actually
he wasn't in the shower. He was right. He was in that segment.
Yeah, he acknowledged
he heard.
He acknowledged this, and he said he just started talking a lot of shit. Which
no, before we go further, I know we want to talk. Denzel Dejournette showed me a lot this week. I mean, he had those German suplexes. He looked like he actually knew what he was doing in the ring. It's the first time I've seen him land any offensive maneuvers, and I was like, hey, this guy actually has some talent.
Better than Dawkins. Well, not this week. Dawkins was good this week.
1 week on from what you saw of Dejournette, would you replace him?
Marcus?
Who, me or Eric?
You. Because I know.
Oh. I'm still not replacing Dawkins. I think that's morally wrong. I think you can't just put another black man on TV and call him D'Angelo Dawkins. I feel like that's morally wrong.
Let me expand on this. What if we were to replace Dawkins with him on Monday nights and just call him Dawkins and then leave him as Dejournette on a Wednesday night?
Yeah. And Marcus, you need to stop putting D in front of
love mankind in this.
Mark, his name is not D'Angelo Dawkins. It's just Angelo Dawkins. You keep calling him
There's a D'Angelo there. No one knows him as Angelo.
So anyway, Grimes is talking a gang of shit. And next thing you know,
Angelo Dawkins.
Next thing you know, unlike Cody Rhodes, Finn is backstage. And Finn ain't gonna let no man talk that much shit about him. And he comes out to the ring and whoops Cameron Grimes' ass. Which I felt was a well-deserved ass whooping in that situation. I actually wouldn't mind seeing, I think, isn't Grimes and Balor fight next week? I think that should be a fun match.
Yeah.
They'll probably do it.
Main event, Adam Cole versus Velveteen. Once again, in the same vein of Io and Charlotte, you kind of figured it wasn't going to be a clean finish in this match. I think the thing that stood out to me the most is that when the Undisputed Era came out to interfere in the match, Dexter Lumis came from underneath the ring and stopped them. Now, that led to more questions than answers because we do not know the relationship of Lumis with Dream. Is it for good or is it for evil? And, I mean, Cole got to retain his championship, but we just don't know. Manny, how did you like the ending of NXT?
I just find Lumis really creepy, especially the way he walks on his hands and slides. It's like, I'm telling you now, if Jake did the way Lumis comes out on the ground, then I call rape. But
Jake is 60 years old. If he's able to do that, I'll be more for. I was like, someone paid DDP more for that DDP yoga. If Jake's over there sliding on his legs.
Now, Manny, do you even remember when Lumis was Sam Shaw in TNA?
No.
Oh, okay. So
did he have the same gimmick?
He was creepy. He was
creepy.
stalking Christy Hemme.
Yeah.
For the majority of his thing, but it wasn't fully developed. This looks like the fully developed person he wants to be.
Yeah,
it's 100%.
They took Dexter,
and he got the mustache and the haircut now. He's more he's creepier now, but I still think that I enjoyed this match. And
no one asked you your opinion. We were still on Manny's opinion.
I don't give a damn. Before my battery go out, man, I don't let my words speak.
Manny told you to charge the damn battery. You started at 80%.
I started at 90%, but I told you it was slowly dying. Okay? It's on its charger and everything. It doesn't work. Is that what you want me to...
When Eric sent out the
message, it was fully charged at 100.
Before I said anything else in that group chat, was Marcus, charge your phone.
Yeah, it was already charged. It was at 100, but it dies.
Why don't you Why don't you find out how to jerry rig your charger cable to the Mac Mini and then position it where it can somewhat charge, or just buy it?
You don't think I tried that? You don't think I goddamn tried that?
No, I don't.
You think I'm just trying to figure out? No, I put a rig together that maximizes this life of this phone right now. It is connected to a bag on top of a shoebox in a way. Not 10%.
I know.
Damn it.
And I thought.
Oh no, it says 20%. Somehow it stayed again. It must have charged because it's at an angle in which it's in there. The charger's in there, but it still died. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck.
You could have borrowed Ryan's phone.
No, he uses his phone.
Go make your point because we don't have much time left.
Well, I'm done making points. Fuck you and everything else.
So now it's time to run Ramshot through SmackDown. There's really not much to talk about. Sonya Deville defeated Mandy Rose.
Shit, I forgot about SmackDown.
The best
I
match.
thought the show was over.
The best match on the night for me was New Day Lucha House Party versus Miz and Morrison and Forgotten Sons. I would say, and this is hard. In the 3 weeks that the Forgotten Sons have been on SmackDown, they have done more. They have done more with the Forgotten Sons than they have ever done with NXT.
That's true.
Well, this is Vince's type. Soldier boys, military, thoroughbred, blue collar heroes. By the way, shout out to rest in peace Tucker Knight, who will never wrestle again.
But Marcus, for week in and week out, you've been clamoring for the removal of Tucker Knight. Were you just saying that, not thinking it would ever happen, or the fact that it
No,
has
I knew it would happen. It was inevitable, just like Thanos would say. Tucker Knight has been snapped away, guys. He is gone. It is just Otis, who I am rooting for to win this ladder match, although he can't walk up the damn rungs. I thought SmackDown was a solid show. I thought we got the best possible match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
No,
the best case scenario.
But it was a solid show. But when your only singles match is Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville, you got problems. They had so many.
What are these singles matches for?
I thought the segment between Jeff Hardy, who was trying to play to fans that weren't there, and you know,
Sheamus is the best.
I thought he was on drugs when he was doing that program.
Like the thing about Jeff Hardy is that without having the fans to cheer him on when he says stuff, it really just seems like a man really trying to get that last hit. Sheamus is still that motherfucker. He is my champion. Why is he not the champion?
He's going to the haters ball. He's going to the haters ball. Because him watching that TV of Jeff Hardy, this is what the people paid to see. Shit.
Hey.
He back, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I can just see him in the corner. I don't know who he was talking to. Look at this shit. He ain't saying, look at him cheering for himself. Fucking embarrassing.
I thought it was hilarious how when Jeff Hardy is talking, and that's just them trying to cover up Jeff Hardy's talk, is that they have Sheamus back there commenting, "Show enough." Look at him, still an addict, trying to get a hit off of the fans that ain't even in the arena. This man is a junkie, and I'm gonna go out there and tell him about himself. I mean, I'm looking forward to the match. Then you had the Braun Strowman Bray Wyatt segment. I don't know what that was.
Come on home, bro. Come on. I mean, I think Strowman is losing this match. If I'm a betting man, Strowman is losing. Because I don't know if we're getting Bray Wyatt or The Fiend, but I feel like with him saying, "I warned you multiple times, you need to come home, otherwise you're going to get fucked up." And I think he's going to fuck him up with The Fiend.
And then the last thing to make Marcus happy is that the Tamina train is still going. For whatever.
Ooh, boy. Tamina, no one is meaner than Tamina.
I don't even want it to happen, but I know she's winning on Sunday.
Do you really think she's winning?
The way they're building it up, I definitely think she's winning.
I mean, Tamina been in the game for 10 years. 10 years. And some people on Twitter said it's been too late for this to happen. It should have happened sooner. I don't know what those people really...
Sooner?
Yeah.
What are these people on?
Well, they're her family. You know, so her family really wants her to be successful in this situation.
So I'm just saying, Tamina is...
The Usos, who are a bunch of drunks.
Who is hurt right now?
Who drive drunk. A dad who was a murderer.
Wow.
Wow.
Why?
I was hoping for 1 week on this episode when they slip up and say, Tamina reminds me of her dad. He's killing her.
and Nia Jax, who is killing the women's division. Literally.
But with that being said, I don't believe Tamina is taking the gold tonight. I believe there's bigger fish to fry. I think they're really going to do this Bailey Sasha feud, and it's going to be for the belt. I think it's. What the hell?
I decided, you know, I just wanted to. I had to hit the button, man. I'm sorry. I had.
You know what?
I had to hit the button.
I'm done.
Why are you done with that?
I'm done. That was it. That was the last draw. Officially quit the show because of that stupid piano right there. That's it. Show over.
Well, it's not over yet, Marcus.
You asked for sound effects.
You wanted sound effects.
I wanted good sound effects, but not that.
I thought the scary sound effect, although it was late, was actually a good sound effect.
What was the scary sound effect is it for?
Because is no one scarier than Tamina.
There's no one meaner than Tamina.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Well, our email before Marcus' battery runs out and Manny takes a swig of water. It comes from Chris. He says, y'all need some merch. I don't know if it's because you do the shows via Skype now, but Eric, the last few shows, there's been a lot of echo action on your end. I said hello to y'all, but you know who you are by now. Okay, possibly has Eric possibly has a point saying I don't need roommates. How this Bama gonna have 5 pickle jars in the fridge? Normally that would be fine, but there's 1 full jar while the other 4 have exactly 1 pickle in each jar. The hell. I'm going to go ahead and say it's wrestling needs jobbers and the stream gimmicks back. Jobbers because we don't need all these big matchups each week. The good old days of Superstars and Challenge was fun because you got to see wrestlers being built up, learning their movesets, their personalities. And it was easy to start a new feud with either the picture-in-picture where they'll call out the individual in the ring or they'll have a confrontation as one was leaving the ring, as the other was going towards it. Good old days. We need extreme gimmicks back. We know times are hard and having wrestlers as a side occupation was accepted. How did this race car driver get into wrestling? Why did this plumber not have enough to support his family so now he's polka dots and here's Wrestling World? How in the blue hell did this former correction officer have the number to get the owner of the company's number and get a contract with them? Why does he carry around a big stick and a ball and chain too? That's your other job.
Come on, what about the Mountie? That should be the way to question. How did the Canadian Mountain get involved in the wrestling game?
Leave those at home.
Entrance music ever.
In closing, bring back the Iconics. Until next time, I remain a hoe. Or my favorite one: how did Nathan Jones break out of prison and come on national television and become a wrestler? Like he broke out.
International waters.
I do miss the extreme gimmicks, and I do like jobbers being brought back. And also, as for the echo, we're trying to figure out where the echo is coming from. I have no idea. I tried my best last week to clean it up. I think it's coming from my headphones, and I think I need to order me some more studio headphones so I can plug it into the back of the device. Because I think when I lean in close, it picks up in the microphone. But who knows? Sorry. We're working out the kicks. You have anything you want to add to this email?
It costing me money. If I had merchandise, I was telling you, it'd be a Rough Bun shirt, but it'd be a white shirt with blue on the shoulders, and it looked like a ruffled potato chip bag. But that would be my.
We definitely need a rough squad.
I mean, technically, Manny gets his grand finale. Marcus gets his grand finale shirt. Manny gets his Lord Manny Hayes shirt. And I just have a shirt that says Eric. That's all it says. Just Eric. That's it.
You were the prime number once upon a time.
That was so short-lived and so bad that I don't.
I still like the Eric with the E, R in brackets. I see Eric, the Republican.
All right. Well, that does conclude the show. I clicked the button, which I was trying not to click a button, and apparently it has destroyed whatever preview I had of the stream, so I don't know if the video has been recorded whatsoever.
How do I even do shit? Why do I even show up?
Well, no, I have the show recorded, Marcus, but the video...
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. If you don't have it all, you don't have nothing.
Oh, it's back.
I feel like we got it down to 2 hours.
2 hours and 8 minutes. So my sweet spot is trying to get it between an hour and 30 to 2 hours because I think that is the manageable time to listen. But yeah, I thought we did a great job, guys. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. If I knew which button was my applause button, I would press it, but I don't know.
I do the slow clap.
I feel like I should find out which one is my applause button just to do it for Marcus because I know how he feels.
Don't.
There it is. There it is. Yes. Successful.
It just sounds like somebody's peeing on top of a pan.
No, it sounds like we're on Saved by the Bell.
Anyway. Manny seems to like the rim shot for no good reason. And because he liked it so much, one more time for him. With that being said, I'm Eric.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
And once again, he is Lord Manny Hayes. We appreciate all his support during these trying times. If the video actually does work, we will post it on our YouTube channel. The ultimate goal,
we have that?
Honestly, if you made it this far through the episode, is to eventually to be able to live stream the recordings of these shows where we can take questions in the chat. And I think YouTube has something called the super chat. But of course, we need to figure out all the echoes and things of that nature. And even when Marcus can come here again, we can still do these shows because I will have the technology. But in the time being, as someone is knocking on the door, that must be Ryan. Let Ryan come in. Let Ryan come in on the show.
Hold on. The way I have it set up.
Oh.
I'm just sitting in my chair. I'm telling you, this is not.
Ryan's trying to bust down the door.
Come over here.
Oh, shit.
It's all like fucking in here.
No, Ryan is on the show, in fact.
It smells like axe. It smells like axe.
in here.
Anyway, we gotta end this. Get off me.
Ryan has made a cameo looking more like his father. Anyway, with that being so, if you're really concerned with the Boo Boo Bear look, check out the YouTube channel, the Sharpshooters.
Your ass.
Until next week, stay sharp.
Fuck off me.
It's a weird ass setup. Like you doing crime.